Good evening, everyone. My name is Laura Schifrin, and I'm calling the meeting of the Select Board of August 5th, 2025 at 6 p.m. May I have a roll call, please?
Veronica Cal present.
Goodrich present.
And Laura Schifrin present. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to thank all of our veterans, as well as all of our military currently serving here and abroad, and our emergency response family and individuals, along with their families. We owe them a debt of gratitude. The meeting is being recorded and will be uploaded to YouTube. Is there anyone else recording? Hearing none. Chairman's additions or deletions. Then maybe I'm just going to do it in the agenda, right? Anything deleted? Okay. 1.5, did you approve the meeting minutes of August 6th? May 6th, 2025. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes for May 6th, 2025.
Is there a second?
Second?
Any discussion?
None.
I mean, I've reviewed them. It's the first ones I can review. They look fine to me.
And they did to me as well. Roll call vote.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Goodrich, aye.
And Laura Schifrin, aye. Okay, so we have no appointments or hearings under number 2. Number 3, 3.1, appoint Cindy King to the Commission on Disability effective August 5th, 2025 until June 30th, 2028. Now, many of you have not heard about this. This has not been a seated commission, but it is in our, is it in our charter or our bylaws?
One or the other.
Can you confirm?
I think it is in our bylaws. Yeah, there's a mention of it. I'm trying to see if there's any further mention of it. It's not in a lot of places.
Just if we could confirm it and how many are on it, and because it will be the first seating. And
There's been a posting for it for a while. And I know that when I was formerly a selectman, I advertised in the COA newsletter for many months, trying to get someone on it because we were trying to get the ADA document written, and it was one of the things that the grant was looking for.
Yeah.
This is received the public notice of vacancy is from the 20th of May, 2024. This is over a year ago.
So it's been,
has 5 vacancies, 1, 2, or 3-year terms staggered. Shall research local problems of people with disabilities, advise and assist municipal employees and employees in ensuring compliance with state and federal laws, regulations, coordinate with Mass Office of Disability, guidance, technical assistance to individuals, not less than 5 members and not more than 13 members.
Okay, so we have some work to do.
Okay, you better get started.
Real Deal has a hand up.
That's Cindy King is Real Deal.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I figured you guys would know because I was assuming it's in the charter, but I haven't checked. But I know it was voted on at town meeting probably in 2018 timeframe, 2017, 2018, because I'm the one that got it put on there. It's never been staffed. There's never been, after I got off the board, there was no effort. And I'm not complaining, but there was just no effort to really get this going. And I'd really like. Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know what you were doing, but I'm not complaining. I don't want to put it out that way, but I mean, I'm saying like back then, I mean, it's one of those things. And I know that there are a lot of grants that, well, not tons, but there are some grants that come through, and there's other funding other than grants that we can access. And this is in my wheelhouse. It's something I've been very interested in, and I've been following the Massachusetts Office on Disability ever since. So I think this is a good opportunity for me to do something positive and rather than sitting out there and complaining about things, I can actually put some work to the grindstone. And I think I have some good connections. Maybe I can be more productive on getting some recruits. I'm very familiar with what the committee's requirements are, so I think I can really do the recruiting. And
Okay. And as, so Val just mentioned, and so did Veronica, that the posting has been up since May of 2024.
correct.
We're thrilled to have your, excuse me?
Yeah, the posting is a reposting. That posting has been up prior to that.
There was another posting?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so now do we repost again? Since we will be seating somebody, so there will be a little different description?
Actually, you guys, what I'd like to do is, assuming, if you'll appoint me, I would like to post appointment, work with Nelson, Sabrina, and the board if I need to rewrite that posting. There's some issues like it's required that most of the members be disabled. And I think there is a charter change that we need to pick a number between 5 and 13, not just have a wishy-washy, what's the quorum today? We need to pick a number, and I mean, that's up for later. But the requirement is the majority of the members must be disabled. So,
Okay.
and that needs to be in a posting. So I mean, if assuming you'll appoint me, I'd like to work, with the powers that be to get this a really good posting, and then start a recruitment drive, and then work with everybody on what the opportunities are with this commission.
Okay, yes.
One thing to mention is it might operate under the outlines of the MGL as well, that commission.
I think it does. I was
It
actually,
does.
I was looking at the annual town meeting in 2017, which is when this was voted on to be adopted. It does reference,
MGL.
yeah, that's what we need to follow on.
Chapter 40.
Yeah, section 8J.
Okay, so, thank you, Cindy, for
I
your,
don't see it. It used to be in the charter.
okay, but it's in our bylaws now.
I don't see it in the bylaws.
What did you just read?
This was just
That's
the
supposed to.
That's
notice of
posting.
vacancy.
But it was voted at a meeting.
It was,
I mean, the charter review committee met since, and I wonder if it was accident. Something happened.
So if I'm looking at E code correctly, under section A195, acceptance of general laws, that was one of them that we accepted, the chapter
We
40, section 8J. So it is in our bylaws.
I can't find it.
That could be in the charter, actually.
I thought it was in the charter,
I
Cindy.
think 145, that might be the charter.
I believe it was, but I'm not seeing it in the new charter. It could be there and I'm missing it.
If it's not,
I
we have
know
a
it
special
was.
coming up, we can redo it.
Yeah,
We can do a charter change.
I'm not
Yeah,
finding it in the charter either.
It's not there.
I wonder
It
if
would make
saying,
sense that they would have dropped it because they were trying to clean house, and it's something we never did. But we could put it, since it was voted at a town meeting, it's my humble opinion, that we could, since we have an STM coming up, that we could just do an article for a charter change to put it back on, based on the
Yeah.
vote at the town meeting in 2017.
So do we seat a person on a committee that we don't have a mention of it in the charter or the bylaws, even though I'm
But it was
certain
voted
it
at
was.
town
and the trick is if we couldn't remove it without a vote.
Well, the charter was rewritten and passed through the legislature.
And
So,
town meeting accepted it.
I wonder, was it an
And-
oversight?
It appears that it was. I'm just not seeing it.
I mean, we could.
I know it was there
You know what?
before.
If we accepted 8J, then that should be legal, I would think, because that means we've created a COD, right?
I think it's something that we have to make
Okay.
sure
We
Yeah.
could appoint pending review.
Yeah, we could do that.
I'll entertain that motion.
I make a motion that we appoint Cindy King to the Committee on Disability effective 8/5/2025 until 6/30/2028, pending review by town council.
Second.
All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call,
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
and Laura Schifrin, aye. Thank you, Cindy.
Okay.
I see only positive things coming from that.
I hope so.
Okay. And then we have 3.2. Is there a motion?
I move that we reappoint Mary Lou Best to the Council on Aging Board effective 7/01/2025 until 6/30/2027.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? She's a reappointment to the clerk position on that.
What do you mean to the clerk position?
Well, that's what it says.
Well,
I think
It's a
they would,
reappointment.
I think it's just, that's probably the current position, because they'll have to they elect.
They
Oh, I
have
see.
to,
Reorg.
right.
Okay.
That's their decision, who gets
The
what.
reappointment form, and we're gonna talk about this, the reappointment form is different than the volunteer form, so we do have to have discussion about that. Any further discussion on this motion? Hearing none, roll call,
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
and Laura Schifrin, aye. Congratulations to both. 4.1. Okay, 4.1, review of open meeting law complaint alleged violation, July 1st, 2025. I can report to you that, I'm really learning my job, guys. So it was disseminated to the board once I, the chair, got it. And it also was sent to town council. Now, do you have any other information on this one for an extension?
I do not, yeah.
We
Okay.
haven't received a response from town council
Okay.
today regarding this.
Okay,
Because
so,
we had a couple follow-up questions and we haven't
okay,
received a response yet.
okay. So what I do want to say is that we're working on it. And, given the date, given that we don't meet until the 19th, which is the date that it has to be responded to by, I believe we're gonna have town council handle it and hopefully get an extension to answer that one, but we are working on it. 4.2, review of open meeting law.
Do we need to vote on that?
I don't know.
To agree to have it go to town council
Oh, okay.
for
I'll take that motion.
consideration?
I would make a motion for town council to consider the open meeting law complaint, from July, sorry, I'm just looking at it, make sure I got it right. July 1st, 2025.
I will second that.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schifrin, aye. 4.2, again, one of my bads. And also before I took the June 13th class for new select board members, which both Val and I did in separate tables. So I did not answer. I did not disseminate, and I did not answer. And this one has not gone to town council, because we didn't answer, and it's an old one.
It would have to be moved to another meeting as well.
Yeah, so I would entertain a motion that go to town council, please.
I move that the open meeting law complaint from 5/23/2025, be reviewed by town council.
I will second that.
Okay, any further discussion? Hearing
No.
none, roll call.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schifrin, aye. 4.3, open meeting law complaint alleged on January 9th, 2025. We believe that this was in conjunction with another board, but two of us. I never answered it. However, it did go to town council, and we believe that that was incorporated in another.
Well, the Housing Trust also, there were
Okay.
2 open meeting law complaints. One was against the Housing Trust, one was against the Select Board. I never saw the Select Board one. That one never came to me.
Right.
But I did see the Housing Trust one because at the time I was the chair of the Housing Trust, and we did address it and we did respond to it. Apparently, I am guessing on this. I am guessing that there was an appeal that the Board of Selectmen one had never been responded to, but it was the same open meeting law complaint, just with different boards and people.
So can I
And
give an update?
no, town council responded to the Housing Trust voted to work with town council to respond to that. Apparently, it was appealed, and the AG's office has taken it upon themselves to respond to both, and there is no open meeting law violation. So we have the letter that I received yesterday.
Yeah, it was August 4th.
And I will just get, for the conclusion, for the reasons stated above, we find that the Select Board and the Trust did not violate the open meeting law as alleged. We now consider the complaints, plural, addressed by this determination to be resolved. This determination does not address any other complaints that may be pending with the Select Board, the Trust, or our office. Please feel free to contact our office if you have any questions regarding this letter. And this letter also went to Cindy King, who was the complainant, and I assume it's the correct Cindy King. So I think we're all set on this one.
Yeah, and town council reiterated that to me today, that they were
Good.
both addressed. So this one will come off the books. Thank God for swamp favors. 4.4, review of open meeting law complaint alleged violation, May 13th, 2025. Okay, I don't have a report on this one. So, can I entertain a motion to have council review this? Because again, I did not end up doing my job and disseminating or answering. And I am not going to do anything like this again.
Well, I'm just going to make one statement. I'm just going to make the statement that it's really hard to figure out when an addition is silly and when it is valid. And I know that, so the first complaint is that something was added that shouldn't have been. And it also references some long ago thing. The second one was the police chief came in and gave his presentation about the bloodhound that the department was getting, and that was under TA reports. And given that that was already in the works, you can look at the Facebook page for the police chief. I guess the objection is that it wasn't a regular agenda item, that it was addressed under the TA reports, but actually the TA is the one that determines this, not the Board of Selectmen, with the chief executives. He is the chief executive, and that is a department head. And so if it's to be handled that way, I don't see any issue, but I would be happy to have town council review this.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion for that, to review the open meeting law complaint alleged violation of May 13th, 2025.
I move that we have town council review the open meeting law complaint dated 5/13/2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, so all of these will come back to our next meeting then for us to review and vote on.
Except for 109.
Except for 4.3, yeah, 4.3 is done.
Correct.
But all three of these will come back on an agenda, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
And
Okay.
with town council recommendation
Response,
or whatever,
yes.
response.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So that, roll call, please. End of discussion.
Veronica Kell, aye.
Sally Goodrich, aye.
And Laura Schiffern, aye. 4.5, review, discuss CBIZ contract. Excellent.
So after sending, the contract over to town council to review, they suggested that, it be put on our, forms, our boilerplate forms. So we made those changes, sent them off to CBIZ, and I sent it to them on July 24th. I have yet to hear back from them, so I will.
For those listening who may not know, would you explain what CBIZ is?
CBIZ is the company that we contract with to provide our accounting services. They've been our official town accountant for a few years now. Prior to the assistant town accountant leaving, the assistant town accountant would be here in person, assisting with, day-to-day accounting needs. But we needed a certified town accountant to do a lot of the submittals to the state, closing the books each month, each quarter, year-end closing. So we needed someone with that skill set and certification.
And they have been assisting the town for how long? They're not-
For at least 4 years, I would say, since 2021, I believe it was 2021, 2022.
But familiar.
From when Terry was our interim in June of 2021. And so she stayed until May or so of 2022. So that is when Markham came in. I believe it was Markham was their name. It's the same company. They've just changed names several times.
Mhm.
It's still the same company.
Okay.
So they're very familiar with.
So 3 years, I would say 2 or 3 years.
They're very familiar with our, accounting software,
Right.
all the accounts, and, all the departments. So, I think things have been going okay since the assistant town accountant's departure. I think that's something maybe we should put on the next agenda item, what the select board wants to do long-term for that position. Do you wanna, develop a job description for a full-blown town accountant? Do you wanna go back to the, previous, arrangement where we have a assistant town accountant here in person, but with CBIZ kind of, working on the bigger picture items? So I think there's pros and cons of both ways of,
Councilman Board?
I do think it's nice that I think it's like at a town meeting to have an accountant who can answer questions there sometimes.
Yep.
So I think that's my biggest concern is occasionally having that person who, can stand up when there's a conversation. That's just how we get there. Obviously, there's lots of ways, but I also understand that getting a full-time town accountant may be outside our budgetary means.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's one of the concerns is, we can only afford to pay a full town accountant so much money, given it's a pretty niche skill set, and, I think there's actually a shortage of, qualified, full town accountants out there. So it kind of puts us in competition with other towns that might pay more.
I think it's also maybe part of the conversations we have with people in Ashby, just throwing it out there.
I've had conversations with Pepperell, because Ashby actually uses the same company as us, so I don't think there's really much synergy there.
Throwing out ideas,
Yeah.
brainstorm.
On the Pepperell side, their full town accountant is only part-time, but their assistant town accountant is full-time. Now, their full accountant is actually not looking for additional hours. So I kind of had that conversation with the Pepperell TA.
I thought they had a posting for joint with Dunstable or some such thing earlier this
No,
year.
That was, I think that might have been a treasure collector.
Could be.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was not
It wasn't the
it
accountant.
was the account.
Right.
I think how you might be able to, and this is just an idea of how we could track a full-blown town accountant, is make it a little bit more part-time. So, the pay is the same, but, they're working less hours. That might be more, you might attract more people.
But how do we determine the work, to determine what hours?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a conversation we
aren't.
could have with CBIZ and see what they think is reasonable, if they know I mean, their contracts seem very open to whatever we decide is best. So, I mean, I think I personally wouldn't have a problem discussing that with them, and I know it's, again, their financial interest, but
So I think CBIZ, they are willing to assist us in any capacity for as long as we want. We have a good relationship with them, but they also know that we could go down the path of a full town accountant, which would mean we wouldn't need their services anymore. And they're okay with that. They know we want someone here in person. So this arrangement is just a stopgap.
yeah, and it says until October 31st is what their contract is for, so.
Yeah.
It gives us time to figure out and maybe work with them to figure out what's best too.
Yeah, and the contract for certainly for October, they can continue with that rate through the end of the year, and we would still be at or below budget for the accounting office. But I don't think it's ideal for us to have a virtual town accountant for the entire fiscal year. I really would like someone in person, whatever that may look like, whether it's an assistant town accountant or a full town accountant.
Monica, any thoughts?
I thought it was Elizabeth Bocchia who was going to be our person. This looks like it's Tanya Campbell, or is there?
Tanya is sort of it is Elizabeth
she?
Braca.
Okay,
Tanya
good.
is
That's what I wanted
the
to
person
know.
that's like on the back end.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
And Elizabeth has been great to work with, and a few times I've had questions, so.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
very responsive. If you have a question or you need to run a report, she's readily available, even though she is remote. Very responsive. Like I said, it's been not too many hiccups, since.
I do agree with you, though, Nelson, that it is nice to have someone who can be present even in one of these meetings. Or I know one of our goals is for having that financial team meet
Yes.
regularly.
Yeah.
And that,
I mean,
that
you could
is-
have somebody on Zoom.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's kind of normal these days,
Yeah.
but
That is good to think about.
I think though that we have to put a time limit on it. If we post and we don't get anybody within the 3 months, I think we just have to, I want consistency is what I would like.
So August 19th is our next meeting. We want to put it on the agenda for that and continue the discussion. Have we posted yet, or will we post after that?
We have not posted yet. We would have to decide, do you want to post for a assistant town accountant, or do you want to give
No.
I think we try the other way. I
full town
agree.
accountant? Okay.
It's a full-fledged
I
town
think we already
accountant.
went this way.
And we should look at the MMA website and see what the going rate is. Any postings that are there, what are,
Compare that to the
comparable
CBIZ contracts too.
yeah. And see what's out there and what people are paying.
Well, given the approved budget already for the accounting department, I don't think we'll have much wiggle room in terms of upward mobility.
You mean pay?
Yeah, paying, a candidate more if they either we're requesting more or we find that we're not getting any applicants whatsoever, or at least not any qualified applicants because the pay scale is just too low.
That's where we were before. That's how we wound up with an assistant town accountant that was being trained.
You never know, we could get lucky,
We could get lucky.
especially
So-
I'd say
So
the
we try.
economics and job market are different right now too.
Yeah.
True,
So might be
that
worth,
is true.
and you
So-
never know if you're gonna get someone who, move
Move
to town
in,
and
right.
doesn't want as high stress of a job as they used to have or
Right.
something somewhere else.
They
I'm being
would
optimistic.
consider this. Very optimistic.
What I
You
can,
never know without trying.
So, okay, all
so
right.
what I can do is, at least start the process of, see if there's an old job description that we can at least, for a foundation of what the new job description might look like. And then we can,
Can you also do the investigating, like Veronica had mentioned, regarding MMA,
yeah,
and see what the going rate is, and figure out how much we could afford, if they give, do they give an hourly?
Usually it's a range, a salary range.
Okay, so fine,
Yeah.
Yep.
then we figure out where we are with that.
I'll see if there's any, active postings on MMA. Once they, expire, they kind of disappear off the website, so it's hard to,
Right, that is
Okay.
true, but
but I'll see if there's any towns, looking for, a town accountant and what the, hiring salary range is currently.
So how quickly would you like to do this? I mean, would you?
it will take a little while.
And so
we
if the
should
CBIZ
vote.
No, I
contract
mean to
is,
post.
I would, let's discuss at the next meeting and then we should post.
and it also probably would need to be discussed in relation to the hiring freeze. Correct?
Well, our hiring
Hiring freeze?
freeze ended at
It didn't.
at
I
the
just wanted
end
to make sure
last week.
officially.
So it's more of a, can we get somebody in to overlap this contract? It would be nice if the start date were October 1st and there was an overlap for the month of October and the person that we hire is a certified accountant, town accountant. Those would be what I would want, but we can discuss this at the next meeting.
Well, if we could have
Think
a
about
report
it,
on
get the
everything
information.
and prepare, say, a posting and what you would do, and then we'll approve that.
Because it will take, if we
Discuss and
want,
approve.
it's already August, and if we
Right.
want someone to start October 1st, this only goes to October.
It sounds like it could be
31st.
extended on a month by month basis too.
It
Yes,
can
but
be,
But
we
yeah.
should start.
um,
Here we go again.
so,
Okay, I'll work
Okay.
on those details and I'll report back at the next, select board meeting.
Okay. Knowing that we would like to have something to vote on and post.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. 4.6.
Oh, Sabrina had her hand.
Is the select board still signing this contract or?
oh yeah, we need a motion, don't we? Contingent on,
Town formatting and review by town council?
Yeah, I think that you guys
I thought
actually
we did
did,
that.
I think you actually did vote on it previously.
Want me to do it
But
again?
you can do it again, it's not a big deal.
I move that the select board sign the CBIZ contract pending, town council review and formatting, to be signed out of session.
do we need and agreement with CBIZ, or do we already have their agreement on this?
We do not, see this as agreement.
So add that.
To,
So
To
last
sign-
time it was just C-Business and town council came back with our template.
oh, okay.
And they have not yet
Okay.
approved our.
I move that we, sign the CBIZ contract pending town council review and formatting and CBIZ review to be signed out of session.
Second,
Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Veronica Kell, aye.
Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schifrin, aye. 4.6, review, discuss alcoholic beverages policy. Somebody want to read the current and?
I don't think you need to,
Pretty
I don't think you need to
long.
read it,
Oh, sorry.
One,
completely.
three,
I,
4, 5,
Never mind.
I
6 pages.
We
With
need to
comments.
do the regular updates, Board of Selectmen to Select Board. That is
Okay.
obvious. And then under, it's down towards the bottom. The one-day special liquor
What page is
licenses.
it on?
This would be page 5.
Yep.
Under there, I guess we could directly state that tip certification must be provided by the licensee or whatever, the person who gets licensed.
With the application.
Provided
Right.
with the application, yeah.
What other comments were made with our last?
The other thing we could put in here is something about, but I don't know that it actually has to go in the policy, but consideration of a detail. If
During the
the,
alcohol serving.
if it is an outdoor public event, I guess is what detail might not be as important if it were an indoor venue, but if it's an outdoor space and people are crossing roads, I don't know.
And kids, I mean, this,
Mhm.
you know, families and stuff like that, it's not.
The other one that we had talked about discussing is setting a limit on sales per person for one-day events.
We could do that as well.
I think the TO is doing 4, I think it was.
TEO was 4, the wristband that they had 5.
Yeah, it's just the picture.
I don't know that we've always set a limit on number of drinks for other events. So I think, you know, I think you have to have some ability to adjust based on what's in front of you.
Yeah. And the individual at hand and the current occasion and how long it's for.
Right.
You know, a half an hour event is different than a 5-hour event.
Right.
So you probably want to
Yes.
put that in there.
So do you want to have that be part of the policy, that is part of the parameters set at the time of the permit?
Mm.
Depending on length of hours and all of that?
I don't know if we can or should. Is that overstepping?
How is that overstepping?
Well, I don't know. I'm just curious, you know. If,
Just for safety and
Oh, yeah,
whatever
yeah,
else, it's a public
yeah.
event.
oh, yeah, but, you know, I don't know if a different select board, if they
we-
always vote just one, you know what I mean, or whatever.
We could say something like, you know, a drink cap per person could be imposed or may be imposed or something like that so that people aren't surprised when you ask. But I don't know.
We seem to be fine with the 4 that they were doing for their, was it about a 4-hour
Yeah.
event? Was it the 5:30 to
Right.
9?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so,
You know, I'm looking at this. It says the Board of Selectmen shall consider each application on its individual merits.
okay,
The licensing agent may impose other regulations and conditions upon the license holder,
Yeah.
such as requiring a police detail or evidence of insurance depending on the event. So I think you have to leave some things open because you don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, what works in one place,
Like you could
In
have
one
a celebration
situation may
event
not
with a
be.
toast at the end, and so that's gonna be 1 drink.
right?
That's
I mean,
supplied or whatever it is, you know, but then something else like this is a casual occurrence.
so
Yeah.
a decision on one request shall not be binding on any other request, and I think that covers
that
it.
is it.
So,
So the biggest thing was that we didn't ask for the tip certification up front in the policy?
well, apparently,
Section 5,
yeah.
is it in any place in this policy? I don't think it's anywhere. Huh?
No, I didn't.
Should it be for not just the one day, but for other?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it depends.
Yeah.
Because some of these are for liquor licenses
Yeah.
and et cetera, et cetera. So,
And
It's not a business, it's
Yeah.
just an event
Yeah.
thing.
Sabrina has a question.
Yes, Sabrina?
I believe it came up that, what was asked separately was not in the policy, which was if the vendors used, tip certification, transportation permit coverage, if there's any, rain dates, a schematic or a map of the, where the alcohol is served, contact information of the person in charge, and, possible police detail.
Those should be in there if you're gonna ask them,
Well,
because they can be.
the police
prepared ahead
details
of
in
time.
there.
the police details in there, evidence of insurance, we could list, it becomes when you list too much, then you lose leeway for other things. So we could, put a comma and add the licensing agent may impose other regulations and conditions upon the license holder, such as, so do we want to list a whole lot of things, such as depending upon the event? And so asking for tip certification, although it is not explicitly listed, it is permitted to ask for it. So it's not a deficit in the policy. Now, if we want to
So do
extend,
we add?
we
This-
could, such
there
as
may be
requiring
other-
evidence of insurance, evidence of tip certification of servers. I mean, how long do we want to make this? But
I guess the question is this a issue? Is there,
Well, they made it an issue.
it's never
Yeah.
been an issue.
Yeah.
Right, it's never been
Yeah.
before, but it was at the last.
well, I don't even know if it was just that we requested it, which is fine according to that policy.
It is.
So,
Well, my thing was gonna be, can we make it open-ended? Can we
It
say,
is.
or more, or,
It is that.
okay.
May impose other regulations and conditions upon the license holder.
Okay,
And then it says such as, so it's just that isn't listed there, but it doesn't mean that we cannot require
can you
it.
just say, this is not the complete list, it depends on the event?
That
I
is
think that's
implied.
Okay, I'm just trying to be,
You can't be all things to all people.
yeah, of course.
And leaving it open allows for more.
Sabrina,
Also the insurance limit, I think were asked for to be put in there. What the board could do is
something be
decide,
different for different events?
And different date. I mean, it could be that in 5 years, the limits that our liability insurance requires are different from what it is today.
then
I wouldn't
there might
enumerate
be
it.
something governing the limits of that. There might be, there's a lot of this in the MGL as well, for those things. But I would recommend maybe to have what you think should be going in the policy and then have town council review it. And you can check what kind of, different things should be going in a policy like this.
I'm good with that. Giving him the sample and he may suggest other things.
but maybe just run it by, we need to change the select board and then ask if there's any, this is 2014. Just ask for
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we
review
could update it.
if there's current regulation changes that
It's
we're
more than
missing.
10 years,
Right,
yeah,
that's fair.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay,
Look for
so
any
we'll
current.
propose that and we would, wait to hear from him and then have a reading of the updated.
Yeah.
With the
Okay.
select board inserted.
Do we need a motion for that? Sabrina?
Yeah.
Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we have a review of the alcohol beverage policy for current changes. The last policy was 2014. And then all instances of selectmen be changed to select board for review at a future meeting.
Second?
Okay, further discussion, so then everything, is it okay with the board? that we add those, or Sabrina adds those things into a draft along with the select board change and have town council review.
I don't think we have to add.
I
those.
don't think we have to add those. I think we just ask for what is.
Okay, I'll update it.
What was mentioned and.
Yeah,
Mention or
do it.
yeah.
Okay, all right, I'm good. So if we're good, roll call,
Veronica Kellogg.
Good Chai.
and Laura Schiff and I. Okay, 4.7, select board goals. Do we have a list of?
I popped mine into the 7:30.
I think they're all in this.
Mine are
Document.
there,
Yeah,
yeah.
mine are there too.
Not up to date here.
I think that some of these are overall goals, that we can discuss the overall goals. These are for things that the TA would be, have you weighed in on this at all, Nelson?
I don't think.
Because you might have other things that we haven't put in here.
I don't think I have. Let me just look through the summary.
And so these would be longer term, year-long goals.
Mhm.
And later when we look at the selectmen's policies and procedures, there are some short-term goals that I would like to see. But
I think that list is pretty good. I don't know if we'll hit every single thing. We will certainly try.
I was thinking like having like 4 I've looked at some other towns and they're like, it's kind of like this big process for getting the goals that other towns have. It's
yes,
really involved in the month of,
May, June.
once the town meetings are ended. And it seems like having like just a couple primary goals, because they're gonna be so involved. Like, something like looking at a Department of Public Works, that's not like a little goal.
No, that's
Huge.
a pretty, but we can break that down into smaller pieces.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just wondering how many like primary goals we want to set, and then we can kind of have a
4.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
Let's
too.
start with 4,
Yeah.
and let's see where we get with those 4. So I would think, and I would like to see them written up in a little different manner than what they are here. But for me, I said this last time, it's budget and financials to get that under, to get that settled.
Yeah, I mean, I think the communicating on the budget process, what that looks like with the entire financial team, and reviewing that entire process with, a member of FinCom, Select Board, Town Administrator, Accountant. I think that's my primary goal. So we're all on the same page for our schedule for next FY, for FY 27.
Right. So that would be our number 1. So do you want to write that one up?
Sure.
My number 2 is, and DPW creation might not be the right way to put it, but restructuring of the town organization chart to be for more efficiency.
Yeah, and I have a kind of a first take at stuff like this, which I'll upload and we can run with it if you want to do that one. Just based on what other towns have, and there's
if
other.
you have that, do you have that already?
Yep.
Yeah, send it to me and I'll play with it.
Yeah. So I think the trick with this is lots of towns have done this process before. So just looking out there, you can kind of see, especially if you take it as like a multi-year thing. The first year you kind of get this, then the second year this is the goal, and then onward
To the third, yeah.
And I guess my trick with this is if any of it we wanted to do for this budget season, you have to get it voted on prior to the budget at town meeting.
Yes.
So there's some wins behind the sales on it.
Okay. Do we want to include, I guess we could, the human resources position, looking at how the TA's office, is that all part of it, or is that a separate thing?
I would just keep the DPW for
Okay.
that goal.
All right.
That's me.
So do we want to go to human resources, or do we want to go to regionalization?
I mean, that regionalization would be my third one, but
I'm good with that, actually. And then my fourth one is human resources, because I think removing human resources is not a good plan. And that might
just to
be a
figure out
whole-
even what our plan is, no matter what
Yeah.
our budget and situation allows.
Right, right. And so I think, but I think the function is still needed.
How
And,
that's distributed
well,
and taken care of.
taken care of. I don't know about
But
distributing.
you know, that number 4 could actually relate to number 3.
It could.
Just
could
throwing
be
it out
on
there.
But I would want it as number 4, and maybe it morphs. You know,
I mean, those
So-
seem like 4 pretty big things, especially because we're already into August, so.
yes. So these are primary goals. Secondary goals, I think we're kind of already working on
Policies,
policies, exactly.
I mean, I'm fine with just keeping, policies and communication are all I'd say are secondary goals of mine.
Okay, policies and communication, and let's stop with that. The 5-year financial plan, I see that under the budget process and
Yep.
timing. And I think we have it.
And I think if we give the basics to TA, then.
Yes.
we'll
So
let them-
this should go back, if you want to send me the restructuring of the
Yep.
town stuff that you have.
It's just, you know, notes and drafts and stuff like that,
Yeah,
so.
that's good.
And there's lots of, like, the state has information out there, presentations, you can Google them and find
Right.
other towns that have proposed this exact same thing,
Mhm.
so.
And number 2 was, remind me, it's specific to public works.
Well, not just, well, facilities,
Right.
Yeah.
trash,
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not water.
No,
It's
not
its
water.
own separate thing.
Right.
So,
Have you heard from either town about meeting?
There was some chatter last week, but I think that kind of died down. I'll have
But we
to,
sent a letter of invitation, so there's been no response.
I wonder if they've had meetings since then. They may not be meeting as frequently.
I'll need to check in to see if there's been any progress in terms of getting a meeting together. I know Pepperell's select board, they're fairly flexible. I think most of them are retirees, so they can sort of accommodate our schedules. I don't know about Ashby. I haven't had many conversations about that yet, so I'll try to work something out, try to throw maybe 2 dates out there that would work for everybody. I do know they meet on different days. I think I had it down here somewhere. I think Pepperell, the select board meets the 2nd and 4th Wednesday of the month. So they're kind of not in sync with our schedule, which that's not surprising. But like I
that's okay,
said,
though.
they're willing to have like an off-cycle meeting, you know, if to accommodate us.
And when does Ashby meet?
I do not know. I haven't had too much discussion on Ashby at the moment. Well, it looks like they meet, well, they say every other Wednesday. Let me just see which Wednesday it is.
Is that on this?
It looks like,
30th?
this look like it's the second and fourth Wednesday.
Oh, that's the same as February.
Maybe a Thursday or something.
Yeah, Thursdays are usually pretty open.
And everybody, it's not like they'll be busy, because they're in town meeting, but
Yeah, it looks like they are in sync with that second and fourth Wednesday.
Okay,
So if the 2 out of the 3 meet on Wednesday, maybe that's what we accommodate to
that's fine.
get something together. And I think we can probably host here. It's kind of in the middle.
That would be fine.
Yeah. So I'll suggest a second or fourth Wednesday to meet.
And isn't that when they already meet? For their own towns? Isn't what you said, or did I miss that?
Yeah, that is.
so you could do it the off weeks,
Oh.
Yeah.
if they're all meeting on
So it
Wednesdays
wouldn't be-
already.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we wouldn't want to intrude on there because they have business
Yeah.
to work on as well. Okay.
So, is there goals?
Yeah. I think we'll cement the next meeting maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So send me stuff and I'll work on it, my piece of it.
Okay, so that's next meeting. 4.7 is next meeting, please. 4.8, setting date, opening and closing of special town meeting. Is that supposed to be warrant?
Did we confirm the
Is it-
24th?
So yeah, I did kind of confirm with town council, town moderator, TCAM. I think we're gonna do it on the 25th.
Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay. And we meet the day before.
Correct. And we can always change that, so, we kind of meet right before town meeting starts. That, it's still over a month and a half away, so we can tweak your meeting schedule.
Is this, high school or here?
I was thinking here, cause I'm not anticipating hundreds and hundreds of people showing up, so I do like the high school, so.
What's better about the high school is it's accessible. You can hear.
Oh, yeah.
It's,
If it's possible, I mean,
if it's possible, I would, if it's okay with everybody
I mean,
else.
public seems to like it a lot better from what I've heard. That's just what it's like.
Me too.
Certainly the parking is a lot better. You can fit this parking lot fills up pretty
I mean,
quickly.
I know that it could be a small meeting, but I know other towns have had rather large surprising turnouts about MBTA communities, so
That's true.
depends on how our town is feeling it, I think,
I will work on the venue.
but it's the 25th.
Yeah, I think everyone I've spoken to, 25th is the preferred day.
Okay, not,
So that's a special town meeting.
Correct.
that's good. There's a chance I could be back. Depending on number of days it takes to drive.
So we need to open and close the warrant.
Did we set the dates last time?
I thought we did.
I thought we did too.
I don't have my notes with me at the moment.
It's to open on the 19th, I thought. Is that right?
Yeah, the night of the meeting,
On the 19th and to close on
the 23rd.
September 2nd.
Oh, no, right, second. And we meet.
So we meet on the 19th and we also meet on the
The
2nd.
second.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the close down. Does it close like at noon and we review, or does it close after the meeting?
We can set any time we want.
We said close warrant at noon.
Yeah, I believe it was at noon. So
Okay,
that
there you
way
go.
we can, review it and then, send it to town council for review. Yep. I think-
So it opens on the 19th and it closes on
okay.
September 2nd.
Mhm.
What time is 19th to open at?
Probably at the meeting.
Okay.
So 6 PM, August 19th to noon.
Do you need a motion?
Yes.
Yeah.
I move that we open the warrant for the September 25th, 2025 special town meeting on August 19th at 6 PM and close on September 2nd at noon.
Second,
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich,
Laura Schiffern, aye.
Do we need to set the date, vote on the date for the special town meeting? Or no?
Might as well.
We can if we're set.
Yeah.
So that would be,
Okay.
I'll entertain a motion to set the date.
I move that we set a special town meeting for September 25th, 2025 at 7 PM, location to be determined.
Second,
Okay. And that's Thursday, September 25th.
Wednesday. I thought it was
So
Wednesday.
it's a Thursday.
No, it's a
Oh, it's a
Thursday.
Thursday.
25th is a Thursday.
So in the motion, it's Thursday, September 25th at 7 PM. Location to be determined. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schiffern, aye.
Okay.
We probably just want to reiterate that the purpose of that is primarily for the MBTA.
MBTA, yeah. Although something could come in,
Something good.
you know,
But
to
yes,
put on the warrant.
The main purpose of the special town meeting is to, vote on the, adoption of the MBTA, Communities Act.
And there will be,
Bylaw,
the planning board will have a hearing
Yes.
prior.
prior to.
Okay, so people should look for that over the next few weeks.
That's been, discussed, like potential dates for the hearing.
I have not heard a date.
Okay.
They meet on the 11th.
Okay, so next
So
week.
they'll probably
Yeah.
set it then.
Okay,
That's what I think.
understood.
Okay, 4.9, first read of the public comment policy.
Ready?
If you are,
Of course I am,
I don't
always.
have a comment, I don't have it in front of me. Go ahead.
Okay, so
Just
first,
a short note, the wording that was discussed in last meeting. I don't know if you said
Oh,
it
yeah.
to the town council.
Remember, it was the one word.
So this is
Period.
the same
Yes.
policy as last
I didn't,
time.
Oh,
didn't get the word out. Maybe we just leave it in as an English lesson.
I think so.
That's fine with me. But
did we find
This
out
is-
what it means?
I didn't look it up.
I did, but,
What does it
What does it
mean?
mean?
how do I describe it?
Okay, I
There
can
has to
look
be a
it up.
definition.
Well, there is, how do I say it?
Having or incur.
Yes, yeah, even you're like laughing, so I don't wanna say it.
Well, then why are we using it?
Well, the phrases right before that, in that same sentence is sexually explicit statement made to
Oh.
appeal to prurient interest, so it's
Oh.
of that nature.
Yes. Anybody who's interested can look it up.
I think that's perfect.
Okay, ladies.
There was another question though about the 48-hour notification, application and stuff.
So this is like verbatim what town council said initially, so. Oh, this is the old one. I don't want to read the old one.
No, you want to read the new one?
It'd be bad if I read the old one.
You have the new one to read?
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. Go for it.
Okay, policy, do we have the right number here? 07/2025?
Yes.
Replace policy 02/2018, public comment policy. The town of Townsend welcomes everyone to the meetings of its many public bodies. All such meetings are held in accordance with the Commonwealth's open meeting law and state and federal free speech laws. We are your local elected and appointed public officials and believe that public participation is crucial to town government. Town officials do their best to inform and to listen to the public, but must also ensure that they are efficiently and effectively promptly performing their respective duties to serve the community. To this end, the following rules govern public participation at the meetings of all town public bodies. Number 1, the chair or his or her designee shall devote a period at each meeting to public comment, the public comment period. To the extent that doing so does not interfere with the public body's ability to perform its duties in an orderly, efficient, and timely manner. The point of the meeting at which the public comment period takes place, the duration of the public comment period, the number of individuals and/or entities who are permitted to speak, which individuals and/or entities are permitted to speak, and the time for which such individuals and/or entities are permitted to speak shall be in the sole discretion of the chair or his or her designee, provided, however, that the chair shall, to the best of his or her ability, ensure that each individual and/or entity who is permitted to speak is allowed an equal amount of time in which to do so. Number 2, while public comments are not required to pertain to an agenda item for that particular meeting, such comments must pertain to a matter within the public body's jurisdiction. Public comments on matters outside the public body's jurisdiction will not be permitted. Because they are not constitutionally protected, the following comments shall likewise not be permitted: true threats, incitement to imminent lawless conduct, statements that were found by a court of law to be defamatory, and sexually explicit statements made to appeal to prurient interests. Number 3, individuals and/or entities who are permitted to speak during the public comment period shall begin their remarks by stating their name and address, including their town or city of residence. Number 4, individuals and/or entities who are permitted to speak during the public comment period shall do so only through the chair. Number 5, entities who are permitted to speak during the public comment period must select a single spokesperson through which to do so. The spokesperson must identify themselves and the entity for which he/she is speaking, including his/her official position within said entity, as well as the entity's physical address. Number 6, individuals and/or entities who are permitted to speak during the public comment period shall not be permitted to assign their time to another entity or individual unless such assignment is required as a reasonable accommodation for such individuals and/or spokespersons because they have a disability. Number 7, if an individual and/or spokespersons for an entity permitted to speak during the public comment period requires a reasonable accommodation to speak because of his/her disability, he/she must contact the chair at least 48 hours prior to the meeting to arrange for such accommodation, which may include permitting said individual or spokesperson to speak for a longer time than the other individuals and/or entities permitted to speak during the public comment period.
Any discussion?
I have nothing to add or subtract. I think it looks good.
Good. Okay, is there a motion?
Well, I would say to put a second reading.
I move that we put a second reading of the public comment policy on our next meeting.
Sounds good.
Okay, motion to put public comment policy for second reading at our next meeting.
Do we need to vote? Did I second
Any
it?
discussion?
Second?
Yeah.
All right.
Any further discussion?
No.
Roll call.
Veronica Kell, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schifrin, aye. Okay. Let's see. It depends.
She got you there.
What, I don't know, that was just automatic. We're at 4.10, volunteer response form process, board and committee posting process, and swearing into the office notification process. And Harrison has joined us.
Perfect timing.
Basically for this, I was thinking to myself, oh, he's here early. But then I look down and you're here on time.
No, this worked out good. I wasn't sure how long I was gonna be over at the fire department for, so I was just swearing everyone in at their department meeting.
Oh, that was nice. Okay. Any questions? While, Harrison is here.
Well, I think I would like to see a bylaw put in place, that these forms are part of. I think it might be a good, or a policy, maybe not a bylaw, policy, I'm not sure which is best, but, I think it's a good idea to make it clear, everything. I think we should also add a training requirement for people who are appointed to boards, to encourage them to understand what the board that they are on does. I think that's a good idea. So I think maybe, all of this is good. Certainly the board and committee handbook needs updated, but I think it's more than that. I think the board and committee handbook would be part of the bylaw. So when someone gets appointed, they are, given this, they receive a letter, they know that they need to be sworn in. They know that the training entities for their committee are, MMA or the, whatever the, training organization is for that board. And maybe also to have something that requires a verification that training has happened. I know if you're on conservation and you do those I think it took me a year to get certified as a conservation commissioner when I was on the board. This was 2014 or some such thing. So, and I forget the name of the citizen planner. Is that it for planning board? I know there's a lot of citizen planner workshops because I've gone to a few over my time on the planning board. There are different entities for different boards. For finance committee, it would be wonderful to have them take the DLS courses. They're pretty informal. Anybody can do them at any time.
I think it's kind of dictated by the boards themselves.
Yeah, but I think there needs to be a policy in place that states that. So Harrison is saying they're doing this.
I wholeheartedly agree, and
Harrison and I talked a lot about this.
Yeah,
previously
I think that, number one, anything that we can do to make the process more clear is welcome in my books. The other thing, as it relates to volunteer response forms in particular, a lot of the appointing authority comes from this board. It's not downstairs. So as far as volunteer response forms in particular, I honestly, I would be comfortable with if that gets stamped in up here and you guys put it on file.
Yeah, he shouldn't even
I
be.
don't know that the clerk's office needs to be a part of that.
It's just one more step.
Right, I agree. I really do agree. And then we can disseminate it to boards.
Yeah.
We used to
Actually,
do
I thought
that.
that's what it was, but then.
We did used to do that,
Yeah,
but
so
it changed at
I
some
wonder
point.
maybe that was like a COVID era change, like something happened.
I was a
I didn't know if it
selectman
was-
during all of COVID.
Yeah,
I
it
wonder-
wasn't part of that.
When it was declared, no.
Okay.
I wonder
I'm
if
not
it was,
sure.
It might have happened after. It might have been an Eric thing, or I don't know. Do you know, Sabrina?
That was before me.
It was before
could have
you.
been when there was a gap. and
But
there
you,
was no
you
upgrade.
had also.
Yeah, it
gotten
could have
forms,
been.
Right, before town clerk?
That could have
I
been
think
Had you
it.
so.
also gotten?
It could have been the gap.
Yeah.
And I
when there
was a
no one there.
selectman then.
Well,
So
Yeah,
it could very
volunteer
well have been the
response
gap.
forms, I don't know where the form actually came from, if it came from our office or whatever.
It was a select board office
Yeah.
form, and it's
Yeah,
been
I think that's
around a
probably-
long time.
Yeah,
So do we want to make a committee to look at this and come up with something as opposed to us right here on the fly, doing things?
I'd be happy to be a part of that. The other thing, if you guys, I understand you guys are busy and Sabrina and Nelson are also busy. I'm happy to look at options and bring information back to you, and if then, forming a committee, or if you guys are comfortable making a decision then, but I'm happy to information gather and bring that to you.
I know
whatever you guys prefer.
I think it would be good to have, the information gathering is always good.
Yeah.
So, but I think a 3-person committee, I wouldn't want to make it too big.
Mhm.
The town clerk, a representative from here, and an at-large. We could throw it out to the community for an at-large person.
I think we should do that with you,
Absolutely.
considering that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so if it pleases the board, if I could be
So-
back from the board to work with Harrison, and are we gonna post?
We would post for an at-large person. We could post today and hopefully have, this is on you, Sabrina, you're the one doing the posting, but to post it and have responses for our next meeting, like on the 19th. So have a timeline, not something that opens up. And if nobody comes forward,
You have a quorum.
we'll,
But between us, 2 out of 3, we could accomplish what needs to be
right,
done.
I would do something like that as opposed to,
Okay,
dragging this out forever.
yeah, I'd like to see it cleaned up.
Voting today to create the committee.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want me to move?
What's the name of the committee?
Let's see what, I move that we create a volunteer board coordination committee.
Okay?
Because that is appointed
Which
and
will-
elected, right?
Okay. And we'll
Is that a
improve the
horrible
process.
name? Is that a horrible name?
No, it's
Yeah,
fine.
I
The
like it.
VBC. Sorry.
Volunteer board coordination committee.
VBCC.
I'm so sorry.
Works for me. Well, the more important thing.
And that might not be and I would want you to
The
look
name
at,
can be revised. If you
is
also
this a
choose.
policy? Is this a bylaw? Is this something that we have to put on the warrant for the special town meeting?
It also seems like
all right.
something that could be discussed at September 4th training to get feedback
Yes.
from
Oh,
board
did
members.
we have a date? September 4th?
Yes, that was gonna be part of my TA.
Okay, fine.
Well, yeah, we can determine in short order at least what form it should be and then get the.
Sabrina's done.
You have to make a motion.
Oh, okay.
Consisting of.
I make a motion to create a volunteer. What did I
Board.
just call it?
Volunteer Board Coordination Committee.
Volunteer board coordination committee to consist of the town clerk, a member of select board, and a member at large from the community
I will second that.
to perform duties as the name suggests.
Mhm. Any
To,
further discussion?
all I'll say is it's to tighten up our process for volunteer. In all honesty, there shouldn't be surprises, but it never occurred to me that a regulatory board would also, someone on a regulatory board would also be someone on the remedy for that,
Yeah.
board. But those things need to be stated apparently. And so,
Okay. well,
if we
then
do
that-
something like that, we'll be.
But also the other question that has been coming up or been some confusion about is the process of once they're sworn in.
Mhm.
I feel like there should be a confirmation to someone.
We can
What-
certainly do that. Right now, we enter it in our database and that's where it ends.
But I
Right.
mean, for, like, the person is being sworn in to the Historic District Commission,
Mhm.
okay? The chair should be notified that
Yes,
so-and-so has been in and sworn in, so they're now legal to vote at your meetings, or something like, you know, a
Well-
template form like you're used to.
couldn't that be when you send the notification, again, this goes back to Sabrina, that when you send the appointment form,
Letter.
you send it to the town clerk, to the person, and to the chair of whatever the board is?
Yeah,
think
I
that's
think,
the
I
current
think that's the current practice. What's not the current practice is when they're sworn in, who gets notified?
Yeah, that's the part that we log.
Well, I
information
guess
to
we
the
could
town.
make that formal, but I would have just thought the person would go
Because you
to a
could
meeting.
have people,
That's what I think has been.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
there are
to
some
me,
who may
it's
not.
understood, but apparently
It should be.
not.
but it could be,
I think formalizing it isn't bad, just to have it as a written step.
absolutely. Because
Okay.
you could have people who have gotten their letter, never been sworn in, but they got their letter, they're appointed, they go to the meeting, they vote, they were never sworn in. So I really think there should be a process where it's confirmed.
Okay,
I don't disagree, I think having
Okay.
something.
yeah, I mean, that's
More
something that the
times
committee
than
can
we
do,
really
you
understand.
know? It's another step, but it should
Especially,
be,
I think it's important because it may not be that monumental for, a lot of the boards, but certain boards have, they vote on permits, they vote on
Oh, yeah.
subdivisions, they vote on
absolutely. There's-
regulatory
there's
for
time.
conservation. I mean, there's so many things that are actually voted on by the board that go into practice or become policy or become somebody's permit. I think it's just a step that
Okay,
it can't hurt.
so we should have a committee seated by the 19th and then go from there.
The question, if I may, was the part of the motion tonight to appoint me and Lori, so discussions could start right away, or are we waiting to?
Oh, why don't we have
Sure.
it? Did we vote already? Let's
voted
vote
to
to
create.
create. Did we vote?
You can finish your motion.
I,
You didn't vote yet, no.
well, let's vote to
We're
create
discussing.
and then let's vote to appoint.
So we're on create. We have discussed.
Okay, is that an open meeting law violation? Because we didn't say that we were gonna create a committee. I think we need to appoint next time, but I don't think that precludes you from talking
the
to
two of
each
you can
other, or
obviously
doing
do
the,
With a volunteer sponsor.
Sure,
yeah,
yeah.
They'll have volunteer response form.
yeah. So let's just do the one motion that we have on the
Because
floor.
we're posting.
And then let's do appointments to the committee on the 19th.
Someone may want to come to that meeting, so. you never
Yeah,
know.
you never know. All right,
I'm seconding.
I seconded, yes, if I haven't already.
All right, is there any further discussion on the creation of the committee?
So,
Hearing none. Well, yes,
You don't mind? if I
I'm gonna,
comment?
well, maybe.
Anyway, should I bring this to my first meeting tomorrow to put Mrs. Churchill at ease that I've been sworn in, this is the official document, right, memorandum of me being sworn in?
I mean,
Is this important?
Did you give them
I
a
think-
memorandum?
I don't know, did Jack write that up for you?
Correct.
Okay, if you have that, then that's
So
perfectly.
is this something
acceptable.
maybe you should put into a standard operating procedure, a new commissioner?
Well, I
Oh,
think
that's
the
a good
commission
idea.
will take it under
Yeah.
advisement.
Yeah.
Thank you. That, we'll take that under advisement.
Could I also say one more thing, since I'm just got sworn into 3 different boards, I wouldn't mind being the one
At
to
large?
volunteer to get your, in a full 3 stage. To be honest with
Okay,
you, I
we
had
have
to
to
hunt
post.
Yeah,
down,
we have to vote.
I had to hunt down all my own information for the Historical Society,
appointment.
maps, everything from the state.
Okay, that's what I thought, I wasn't aware of any
Nobody
letters, so,
offered it to me.
but we can
So
come
I
up with
had
a
to make a decision to either go into that first meeting very uninformed or hit the streets, create the package, get all the information, get up to speed. So tomorrow when I go to the meeting, I'm there. So I think it is important, just like Veronica said, I've gone through all these MACC classes, on it goes. That is a really important part of conservation, also with agriculture, also as I'm learning with the Historical Society, it's there's a lot of language, there's quite a bit to it.
Okay,
I said,
yeah, I know,
thank you for your comments.
I know when I was chair of the trustees, I would send out, like, there's state rules, you know, nationwide rules, and those I would send to, I had a 2-page document that new trustees would get when they came on, so.
For the library trustee.
But I created that, there wasn't one before, so. I kind of was on my own when I drank.
I think a lot of people are and don't really know,
Okay.
and it depends on the chair, whether or not you get information on,
But we have not voted, so are we done with the discussion on
I
that?
think so.
Okay, hearing no more discussion, roll call,
Veronica Cal, I.
How good a job.
and Laura Schifrin, aye. So that's 4.10. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Someday
you.
someone's gonna be like, how is that commission named?
And we're gonna point at you,
I
Valerie.
came up with it.
And then we're gonna say, didn't you watch the meeting? Okay, it's on video. All right, 4.11, discussion of town administrator position with the town administrator. Ronnie?
This is me. I wanted to go over
It's hot in here.
I'll turn on the.
All right, thank
Oh,
you.
I closed my SharePoint there accidentally.
No, I'm on the wrong one again. And this is so uncooperative. Discussion of the town administrator position. This Board of Selectmen operating policies is something that was put in place in 2017. This is the wrong one. This is the wrong operating policies. I thought we updated that. What's in the packet is not the correct policy. This was updated in 2021 or thereabouts, and I thought we got that policy posted, Sabrina, way back. It was one of the first things that I said, this is the wrong thing. And so, let me go to policies and see what we've got there.
It'll be on the website.
It's the Select Board operating policies. I know it's not accurate. I don't think, here it is. The one that's on the website is correct. It's dated 8/24/2021.
Which one is it, Veronica? Operating policies.
Yes. Board of Selectmen operating policies is
Thank
what it
you.
says. And so there are some things in here that I don't know if when you came on board, anybody went over it with you.
I've looked at it here and there. I wouldn't say I've gone through a fine tooth comb.
What I wanted to talk about was meetings with staff, responsibilities of chairman. Let me get to where I want to go.
Sabrina, do you want to put out the new floor?
One of the things that we used to get from every department was so here we go, department, it's 16-27, and it is, I don't see a page number here, but it's 16-27, departmental meetings and reporting. I know that we do liaisons, but I would like to see these reports because I always found them useful. It's how I knew what was going on in departments. And the liaison, I don't know if you guys have read the liaison policy, but that's just to go to meetings and sit and listen.
The way I also take it too is that, and this is related to TAs, is that we are not involved in the day-to-day running.
That is correct.
Those boards and committees should first go to the TA. If then, like for day-to-day stuff, then they can come to us as liaisons.
Or they can come to us and then we can talk to the TA. All right, either, I've seen it done either way. I don't know that it specifies, but it's, but what I would like to see is these monthly written reports. Second paragraph, the town administrator shall coordinate and schedule monthly department meetings on the first Tuesday of the month. And those were held regularly. Back when I was a selectman, they had agendas and there were minutes written afterwards. And so I don't know how anybody else feels, but I would like to see this policy more in place than what it is. And when's the 4th? That's a Thursday, right? I would really like to see it starting in September. With
And that's the day of the training?
well, it's the Tuesday before the training, so the training is the 4th, and I think that's a Thursday.
It is a Thursday.
It'd be September 2nd.
So it would be September 2nd. And I mean, I really do think the department head should know what is going to be covered in the department meeting. So I know it sounds like more work for you, Nelson, but
No,
I
not
think it
necessarily.
might help to get things back on pace, especially given that we do need to do salary adjustments and things like that. I think it's just important to have, so everybody knows what's going to happen and when it's going to happen and what the expectations are. So that I would like to see. That's my first thing. But discussion, what do you guys think?
Certainly with the department head meetings, I do feel like they should be on a more regular basis. Certainly having them truly monthly is not a big deal, to get that up and running. I'm coming up on a year now here in Townsend, and, in the beginning, I was so, I was just trying to keep above water. There was so much stuff going on that, I was barely keeping up with things. Now that I'm a little bit more seasoned, I have a little bit more breathing room, so to speak, to, have these meetings on a more regular basis. Certainly in recent months, we've been having them pretty,
Because we had chaos.
but I think going to a month,
It wasn't, I think that the meetings that I've attended have been because we had budget issues versus teamwork.
Yeah.
Well, and I think on the teamwork front, the reports got turned in the day of the department meeting or the day before. I don't know what it says in here. But anyway, it allows every department to know what every other department is doing. I mean, you could make them do the last day of the preceding month if the meeting is the first Tuesday, or the Friday before the meeting. Then the department heads know what the other departments are doing. And if there's any collaboration opportunities or just knowing what the other departments are doing could be beneficial.
Right.
Um,
And we do hope that all the departments are collaborating and working together.
I think they are. I don't want the department head meeting to be, like a 5-hour endeavor where.
No.
So we're like hitting the high level things or certain, big projects that department might have coming up, which honestly, most department heads, if there's something big coming up and other departments are involved, I know I have full confidence they are collaborating with other department heads. Certainly, say highway or, the water department, for example, things of that nature. It's just kind of understood that department heads, collaborate with each other. But I can also see, certain things, are minor enough that we just gloss over, but if we mention it at some of these department head meetings, we might get different ideas, collaborative opportunities potentially. So I think that's a great idea to start having that kind of discussion. The department head meetings, to Lori's point thus far, have been very much geared towards budgetary issues versus operational projects that departments might be working on.
I think some departments, it may be easier, like to come up with that report than others, because like say planning, the administrator there is used to every meeting, there's an administrative report, so it says basically what goes on that month and whether that's the stormwater permits or whatever, there are reports, and I think that would be interesting to everybody, the officers, the building, the zoning, they're all related, land use, what they're seeing, and not everybody sees everything at the same time because they're not actually doing it. So I think the more communication, the better.
So, and then too, I mean, it would be good for us to know what the agendas items are and then the minutes from that meeting. And I don't expect these meetings to be longer than an hour, really. I mean, we don't want to spend forever.
Right.
A general
They have been an
Yeah,
hour.
that's,
Yeah.
you know, call for
So
the hour,
that's-
you know, so
that's
that's
all.
prepared, you
Right.
know, then it goes quickly.
But, and the reports, most of the department heads were here, 2 years ago when these reports were common. I don't know when they went out of fashion, but we used
I know
to get
I know
reports.
the library director still does it and presents it to the trustees.
Yeah.
So actually, I get them.
I get Stacy, so various departments do send them to me.
I'll bet Jim Smith sends you one.
He
He used to
does.
be really good at
He
it
does.
and very consistent.
Yep. I typically do get the reports from, a handful of departments. Unfortunately, not every department does send one. So I need to reiterate that they need to start doing that moving forward.
And there are examples for every department. Land use might be a little bit different now that we don't have a land use coordinator, and that's who would normally have.
I mean, there also could be, this also could be a case for a set format from the PA.
Yes,
That's
that's right.
because there might be, like, what someone reports to their board might be way more in depth than what they would on a report. So it could be like, here's your, I want to know, like, 3 or 4 bullet points.
Yeah.
Right.
However, like, current biggest,
Yeah, especially
win,
if it's
current
once a
biggest
month.
challenge, whatever,
Mhm.
like a shout out or something like that, just
Yep.
never.
So there, that's that piece.
Hi.
The other,
Hi, it's Melissa. Can I make a comment? No?
In reference to our discussion,
Yeah. No?
okay, well.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I out of order? I just
We're discussing reports from department heads
Yeah.
to monthly meetings with the TA.
Yeah. And I just wanted to make a comment as a department head.
Okay,
I think it's an absolutely fabulous idea. All the things, and I agree with everything that you guys all said about, department heads learning about what other departments are doing and the communication and all of that. That's all. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you for your
thanks,
comment.
Melissa.
Okay, and so the second part?
The second part is the TA report.
Mhm.
I think it would, and this kind of falls into one of the open meeting things, but it would be good. I know that it would be good. I don't want you to be writing all the time, but it would be good to know on the agenda if there are items that you're going to report on, what they are. Like the one that you said, I'm going to talk about that in the TA report.
Yep.
To just put it on the agenda if you know about it at that time, or it's
Okay.
something that you expect to have, just so that people don't say, oh, well, I didn't know you were going to talk about the police dog or whatever, that sort of thing.
Should the chair be doing that as far as or asking for a report? Because in going over the minutes of the May meeting, let's say, this will be a point, I promise you. There was a number of items in the minutes, and I'm like, wow, what happened after July 1st? Something was to happen, okay? Or, I don't know, there was 3 or 4 things I wrote to Sabrina, what's the update? So we have a meeting, we do action items. We don't get minutes. It's gonna change, we're gonna get them quicker now, but we're going over minutes that are 2 months old, okay? But in the meantime, we've had all these other meetings and we forget what it was that we acted on. Well, where are we on what we acted on? So I would like to see a process.
I write.
Yeah, my notes. But I would like to see a process whereby, okay, after this meeting, we had so many action items, so when the next meeting comes, where are we on those items?
Right.
Because it shouldn't be up to us to remember everything that we have voted on, and we can't. And again, yes, we've had chaos with the budgets and whatever, but we have to move forward and get some stuff done. And I feel like, I don't know what we missed in the other, unless I'm rewatching the meetings And we spend enough time just being here and listening, doing the emails and answering phone calls. And I mean, I'm doing this every single day. And I don't know how many you guys get, but 50% of my time is for the town. I'm answering somebody's question or trying to look up something. And we just have to have better feedback and information.
But I think that's
Meeting to
related.
meeting.
I think that's related to the fact that like the select board is not supposed to be involved in the
Day-to-day.
day-to-day running of the town. And I think we have to be careful that that doesn't start to creep up and you wind up realizing that's what you're doing.
But I don't think that this would
Well, we're not supposed
do
to
it.
be doing it, but I think that my take on this was, I volunteered to do this job and to run for this job because of all the things I've already done in town hall. Thinking that because I had knowledge of so many boards, I could be helpful to the new TA and the new board, as each of you have different experience with things in town. But I never knew what this seat was like, or how many moving parts there were to this seat and responsibilities, and we have a new TA. I can't be the one, I'm realizing I can't be the one that is a TA for the town.
You're not, and you shouldn't be. But I think it will help to have things spelled out more. I mean, Eric wrote reports that he handed out to us most meetings. I mean, it was a rare event, and it wasn't always itemized on the agenda, but if you knew about it, it was. And it would help to keep us on track of where things stand. That's all. So at least I would like to see the meetings starting with the 1st of September.
Mhm.
And I would like to see agendas and minutes from those meetings, as well as the reports from the department heads. I would like that. And then whatever you can do on the TA report, like if you know that CBIZ, you're going to report on the CBIZ contract, put that down there. Or what did we talk about earlier today? But you said I'm going to talk about that in the TA report.
The training session.
The training session. So just,
Yep, and I do feel like I need to start bulleting certain things throughout the course of a day, a week, leading up to the select board meeting. And, it's something I need to start getting in the habit of doing, because there are so many things going on, and I just kind of.
it's been this.
Yeah, and so, I put out a fire and then I work on something else, and, I just keep going. And then before you know it, it's like the next select board meeting, and, there's probably 10 little things I can report on, maybe a couple of bigger items, that type of stuff. So I agree, so I will certainly start working on that, coming up with more of a report / list to run through when it's my turn to discuss things.
So that was what I had to say, but you guys, go
Well,
ahead.
under the same thing, what was supposed to be on the agenda was a continuation of our discussion last week about the contract and the 1 year being in August of your contract. So I would like to see the review still done on the 19th for the first year.
But what are we reviewing on? Because we have no goals or objectives, unless there are goals and objectives that are measurable. I mean, when you do a review, you have measurable goals and objectives that you are, at least that has been my experience with reviews in my professional life. And so the way I read the contract is you do that the last quarter of the year. Now, why they picked that for the contract, I don't know, probably because that was what was there before. And it's been typical that we reviewed, at least typical in the time that I was a selectman before, we reviewed in the 4th quarter, and then we set goals after town meeting. By the end of June, we had the goals that we were going to work towards, and that we would write the review of the TA the following year. And if I read, we have done a review. It's up online. And I think Callie gave us the questions. So, so I guess.
Were they applicable to the job description as set forth? I thought to review it because I wasn't here.
Yeah,
Well, I would say that we really, it was just entire chaos from the time we were elected. And, so Nelson had been here not quite 2 months. So that was time we didn't have with him. So, and then, so we basically had a review in the first quarter, but it was, what were we gonna say?
Do you feel that you didn't have enough information to do an,
It was
I guess the question-
absolutely not what you would
not
normally.
enough experience? Because I'm wondering if what you're saying is that you went into that review with a limited amount of experience, and now you have X experience. And you have, and like reviewing now it would be an easier thing for you to do.
I think it's an easier thing to do, even though, and now it's 3 of us for a couple of months, where it was just us for a couple of months. There is some experience with how things have gone, and yes, there were no goals, but we were doing stuff every single day. So I think that we would have some kind of, I think a better ability, I would say, to answer questions with more insight. Maybe not related to goals, but related to the town and how things have been going.
Roles and responsibilities.
Huh?
The roles and responsibilities.
Yeah, I guess. Anyway,
I'm looking at what
the other board.
I am looking at. Callie gave us we were not involved with setting the goals for our new TA. You and I.
No.
There was a whole completely different board. Callie gave us, because the contract said the 4th quarter of the fiscal year is when you review. So Callie gave us, it was character and capacity, infrastructure and energy, union contract negotiations regarding the budget process and regarding the future. And that was.
Did we do that?
Pardon me?
What month did we do that?
April.
Very late.
April. And we went into the year because we were elected on the 16th. Our first meeting was November 19th.
Right.
So what last quarter did we have? 6 weeks?
It is the last quarter of the fiscal year, and not our last quarter. It is the last quarter of the fiscal year that we review the TA, because the goals are set for the fiscal year. That is correct, and we did it, and we signed this April 29th, 2025.
We might have had a bigger picture in June,
Well,
which we could have done. Right?
we might have, but that's not the contract. So I'm not.
No, that would be June 30th would be the last quarter, right?
The
April,
end of
May,
the
June.
last quarter. Yeah. So Q4 would be April 1st to June 30th. So what are you saying?
That we should have done it June 30th.
Well, we did it when Callie requested us to. I didn't
Either that
go
or I
in
did.
saying, or maybe
Yeah,
you did.
Because I didn't know what I was doing.
I don't know.
I mean, but there, I believe, and you'd have to talk to Kelly and Labor Council about it. You as chair could call for a periodic or something. I'm sure if you feel that it's prudent now, I'm sure you could call for some periodic.
I think you need to
review.
talk to Labor Council about that.
Okay, well, anyway,
Um,
I mean, that's fine.
discussion's
I'm
out
fine if you
there.
talk to them about it.
So I guess for me, my immediate goals are to see that we have monthly department head meetings, that we have monthly reports from the departments, that there are agendas and minutes for those department meetings, and that we see the TA report, a more robust.
Sure.
And then we set the goals that we work towards, that the TA works towards. I mean, we do not do day
No.
to day. We do not. This is why, why I do not go around talking to department heads.
They have to come to me.
And that's a different story, but that's Nelson's job.
Yeah.
Nelson's the one that negotiated for, how can we cut expenses? What can we do to get our budget in line?
I mean, some towns have really
that was
explicit,
Nelson.
some towns have really explicit policies, like I think Littleton specifically says that select board members are not to initiate conversations with department heads. That's the TA. A
That is
department head
correct.
can initiate with the select board member, but
Correct.
not the opposite way.
Right. So,
And we
I'm
could
glad not to
consider-
start it.
but the goals that we set, the ones that we're working on for the 19th, are the ones that then we have to work with Nelson to figure out what the measures are gonna be, how we're gonna get this done, what's the timeline, what's reasonable to expect. Because he's not gonna get started until September, and April's gonna come really quick. Seriously. So anyway, that's,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know why Kelly thinks there's an annual.
No, I do. And I
You
said that
do.
last week. I did because I took it as a 3-year contract that was signed in July and began in August.
It is.
Okay? To me, a year of that contract is August.
But did you read the contract, the evaluation piece in the
But
contract?
is there a discrepancy in the two things? Do they not? Maybe you should talk to Labor Council about it.
Okay. And maybe I missed that point.
But we were talking about it with
Okay.
them. Talk to them about it. Jane?
All right. 4.12. And as we start that roundabout, I want to apologize because once I saw the maps, it's like, it was when we were just discussing about it and I didn't picture in my mind where the lots were.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking, you say Meadow to me, I think about West Meadow.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And once I saw them, go ahead.
So I just want to know if we can send a letter. This is what I would like to do. The CR committee isn't meeting until next week, Thursday. But I'm looking for my notes. Sorry, I keep notes in all sorts of places. June. We need to send a letter, requesting that they move that.
The trust does.
Well, the trust is not the owner of the property. This is the CR committee, and it's for the Tesa Fields, to make sure that those are always there for Tesa Fields.
So it's under, who's it under in the deed?
Town of Townsend.
Okay, so it's not in conservation.
It is not in conservation. So the idea is that, Richmond
So the
Shed,
select board.
number one, it's a letter, a notice letter that we send first. And saying, hey, this is on property, town property. Would you please, take a look at this and take care of it? That's number one. So it's typically a friendly letter and just to start the conversation.
Does
And
that
then if-
need to be written by town council?
Well, town council does write those typically, but I would want, in the past, it's always been land use, the land use department that has handled these things for the town. So all I want is a motion to move forward with, noticing,
Okay.
with notice to the homeowner.
Regarding the structures that are on
that
Town
appear to
property.
be on town property, yes. You see those two right there? You see them, Nelson? It's those two. It's those.
Would you like to make a motion, Lori?
Yes.
I move that the select board issue a letter to the homeowners, regarding encroachment on Squanicook Meadows.
I will second that.
Any discussion? Any further discussion?
No.
Okay, hearing none. Roll call.
Veronica Cal, aye.
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
And Laura Schifrin, aye.
That's all I need right now.
Okay, so because we don't have a land use coordinator, it should be town council.
Well, I
Advise it, or should it come from the TA?
I think that you can decide if you're gonna delegate it or take it upon yourself.
Yeah.
I guess is what it comes down to.
I might be
You
able to, utilize some resources in the current land use office, you know. I know,
They probably have draft letters.
yeah, I think Colby
Yeah.
and Beth have a lot of experience
Kieran may have
pushing out
also,
the notification.
because Kieran is doing a notice of trespass for us for Haynes Road property. And he worked with Adam on that.
Okay.
It was
Better be drafted.
cutting, well, a little bit different. It was the, abutter cut trees on the land that the town owns, that the trust owns. They cut a bunch of trees. So we've been working with the landowner. So Kieran does have experience with that, if you want to talk to him too.
Okay.
And he's working with Adam now on the remedy. So,
All right, sounds good.
but that's up to you, Nelson.
And again, I'm sorry that was delayed a meeting. Okay.
Okay, I'm looking for my documents.
Now that was 4.12. Is it actually,
Dudley Meadows.
4.13, that's fine. So we had voted previously for, everybody assumed Dudley Meadows was in conservation, and it turns out on the deed it is not. I guess apparently most people just thought it was.
It's because it's an open space preservation development. It's the open space for an OSPD. And typically that, well, I don't think there's anything typical about anything, but one option is that it goes to conservation, and apparently this one didn't.
Yeah, and so we voted to have conservation work with the encroachment that was on Dudley Meadows, and I know that's been, always been very successful with that, good results.
Oh,
And so
good.
I think we had said that we would like to transfer that to conservation, and in order to do that, we need to do it at the special town meeting in September.
Yes, there is a process to that.
So I just want to know if we would like to start that process to get that on the special town meeting warrant.
I'm good with that.
Is there an example of one that we've done recently in
I'm
terms of language?
sure there's example that
Well,
Colby has or
there's,
Adam
you
has.
know,
and there's-
transferring it to the housing trust in May of 22.
I'm sure there's one on the recent, and Colby might know which, he might be able to see which one was more recent, so we don't have to reinvent the sword.
So,
is
yeah,
there a motion?
I would move that we, place a article on the special town meeting to transfer the Dudley Meadows, town property in question to the Conservation Commission.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
Any further discussion? We have done things like this before. Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
Hearing none, roll call.
Veronica Cal,
Valerie Goodrich, aye.
And Laura Schifrin, aye.
And it's, I mean, it's a town meeting vote, so it's up to the town.
4.14, discussion of a media relations consultant.
So Nelson, I did put into the SharePoint something that we got from CSS today. It's a workshop, avoid the no
Okay.
comment. learn what to say instead. I just did it today because it just came in
Avoid the no
email.
comment.
And
It's
it-
funny.
Yeah, I
And
saw
it-
that today too.
And it came to all of us today from CSS.
And it did get me thinking, CSS, they are, they are reporting for the ARPA, but they do a lot more,
They do.
So it did get me thinking, oh, maybe they can potentially provide us with,
I think,
as needed, PR related, services. I did get confirmation from John Guilfoyle.
Mhm.
They do not provide, as needed services. So they couldn't give us like a hourly quote and then we utilize their services as needed throughout the year. Their business model does not work like that.
do you
So
want to check with CSS then?
I can.
I think that would be a good idea. Another possibility that I hadn't thought of till I saw this email today. And I thought that, I just thought we should look at this and consider it because
Should we have somebody go to this or
I-
attend?
well, my thought is to have
Zoom?
Nelson check with them and see what sort of services they provide over and above this.
Okay,
This might be something, when is this? Oh, September
16th.
16th. This might be something that Nelson could attend, but really, I think it would be good to have a professional that we can go to when we need a statement regarding anything. And so I would start there first.
Mhm.
And we have a meeting next week. I'm sure they'll take people up until, is this you go to it or is this a Zoom
it's
thing?
virtual,
Zoom,
Zoom.
Zoom.
so it's over a month away.
Yeah, so let's talk about it next time, but ask Nelson to find out about services that could be utilized.
Okay, so we'll get an update at our next meeting.
Correct.
I should have touched base with CSS by then.
Okay, no motion required.
I don't think so.
All right. Okay, 4:15. Update on contract for solid waste with GW Shaw beginning September 1st, 2025. Sabrina, we talked about the timeline. I think the last we heard was July 16th was the last legal counsel update on it.
Yeah, we got another update today because we asked town council. They don't have anything more to add. It really is in the Board of Health court at the moment to make progress on it. There's two contracts that needs to be worked on. Is the contract of GW Shaw as well as the contract of Waste Zero.
Yeah.
Who produces the bags.
And they're both for starting September 1st?
Correct, the new program. I think the GW Shaw one is essentially buttoned up. There are some issues with the Waste Zero contract that town council has a few issues with, and those are unresolved at the moment. Now, I just want to say, town council is always very conservative in their advice. The town can always choose to, go against that advice, so to speak.
The town being the select board or a town
Yes.
meeting?
Both. Again, they're there just to provide advice. They're not telling us what to do.
Oh, but I mean, in this case, we're looking at September 1st. We're not looking at a town meeting for.
No, this does not involve town meeting. What I'm saying is, town council is providing, legal advice on these matters. Whether we choose to, follow their advice is up to, the select board.
In this circumstance, is there a difference in what the contracts are proposing and what they're advising?
Correct. And it's really the waste 01 that, there's a gap that, at the moment, we haven't been able to come to a compromise on.
A gap in what respect?
So the waste zero contract that they propose, there's a couple of things that the town council had an issue with. One, the waste zero, services is under a state contract, so technically we should just be following that,
Right.
and not signing a separate contract. One of the bigger issues is the custodial bank, custody. The way Waste Zero works, in case you weren't aware, is, they collect all the money from the various stores in town that, sell the bags. So, they do the back end collecting the money. They take their fee and, their cost for manufacturing the bags. And then, the rest is, given to us. But there's a separate bank account that handles sort of the, weekly or daily, activity. And then at the end of the month, at a, prescribed day or time, that money is, sent to us downstairs in the treasurer's office, and that's when we book the revenue. So it's that bank account that, town council has, an issue with.
And what is the issue?
Well, that Waste Zero has, access to that bank account. But in theory, they have to, because they are collecting the money and then they're putting it in there. Now, I don't necessarily have an issue with that. Waste Zero does business with dozens of municipalities in Massachusetts, and it's the same arrangement.
Same bank account?
Well, the same framework of how it's, how the money is, moved around. They collect the money, they, from the vendors, they take out their fees and their costs, and then they send us the money, once a month.
Now, do they directly put those funds in that account, or do they send a check to the treasurer?
No, they wire us the money to an account, a bank account that, that.
So they wire it directly into the account?
Correct.
I see the problem.
So the wiring up, it's now an enterprise fund. Is there a separate account for the enterprise fund? And that's where they wire it to?
It now being an enterprise fund wouldn't change the makeup or of the type of bank account that's being used, because nothing has really changed on that end of things. People are still buying the purple bags from the stores, and the process is exactly the same. So there's no need for
Not quite exactly. I mean, I understand it's exactly the same as far as they collect the money, take their fees, send it to us, but how does the enterprise fund interact with the fund that the pay-as-you-throw funds are going into? I agree with Lori is what I'm saying. Shouldn't it be going into the enterprise fund?
Well, but that's on the really back end in terms of Waste Zero and, the bank account where they, collect the money from the vendors and then send it to us. That process, even though it's now an enterprise fund, that process, inherently doesn't need to change.
So let me go back 1 year, because we started selling purple bags last October.
Yeah.
Is this the same process as it's been since last October?
Yes.
So we signed the contract
What
last year?
contract was that?
It was the same one, and, given everything I've seen with Waste Zero, sort of operating the same way in other municipalities, I made the decision.
Was that contract reviewed? That contract was reviewed, I'm sure, right, by town council? Was it?
I don't know. It may
They,
not have been.
no, so they did look at it and.
Was that done while there was no board,
No,
or there was two?
it was done prior.
Trying to think.
I
Maybe
thought it was August.
it was August, but the bags weren't available.
It
so-
wasn't,
What was the
Yeah.
date of that contract, I guess is the question.
Yeah,
Because now I'm wondering if, I mean, who was it reviewed by, right?
it may,
They did look at it.
Council did, but the select board did not.
Probably, I don't think there was, but I made a decision at that point, we had to get the program up and running. It was either that or we're at a standstill. I made the decision to sign it. I took into account, town council's, concerns, but I also weighed it with the fact that Waste Zero is doing business with multiple municipalities.
I guess my only question is do they have, are they doing it the same way with all those municipalities, or is this just their preferred way? Do they have other ways they're doing it with other
Right.
municipalities? That's my only question. Is this just, because I guess the question, whenever you're dealing with a vendor, there's a way they'd like to have it done, and I can understand for their ease and their business,
Yeah.
that makes total sense. I'm just wondering, is that the exact way they do it with all their municipalities, or is there?
When I was, working for the town of Arlington, Public Works, we have a, trash pickup program, and, I vividly remember seeing the same, statements, from Waste Zero. Arlington also used Waste Zero, but for us, it was the commercial side of things. So, certain businesses along the main thoroughway in Arlington use the trash bag program, and it was the same thing. They would buy the bags from certain stores in town, and then Waste Zero would do all the accounting, collecting the money, manufacturing the bags, delivering it, and then at the end of each month, we would get a statement from them, exact same statement that we're currently getting, detailing all the transactions, and basically at the end is how much money they would send the town. So for me, I had the experience to, to know that, it's been done in other municipalities, and,
hasn't been a problem.
I wonder if they're saying, no, those towns run by sometimes by not select board, but mayor, different forms of governance, I don't know.
well, whatever, composition it might be, I think the process is the same. So, but I made a decision back then because, we had to get it up and running. We couldn't be without a program. So I think it's worked out. Waste Zero has been a great partner, and, they have been for years. Before this, the purple bags was just the overflow program.
Right.
So, this is just on a much larger scale, essentially, is what it is. So I would say that's really the hiccup with, getting everything up and running for the September 1st start date.
well, we haven't seen the Shaw contract yet.
I thought we
did.
I thought there's
Oh,
been one.
okay.
Not
September
for
1st.
the September
We had the
1st
extended one.
forward. We did the
We did the
July,
extended.
August, but not that.
Yes, Sabrina.
Just a quick question, do you know if, Waste Zero has to use the same template, our contract template as well, or do they use their own template?
They have their own, yes.
Because there's no signature lines for accounting on there.
So I don't think it will be needed anyways, because there's actually no, there's no cost to us. You know, accounting certifies that there's money available to execute this contract, but we're actually not paying for anything. Everything is done. There's no
On the
upfront.
bags,
Yeah.
because they collect it all and they pay the difference to the town.
Yeah, correct. So there's
There's no
no
billing.
upfront cost to us, which is great for our financial situation. Because you know, we're not sort of on the hook for the inventory.
So what happens, is there I have several questions. Is there a time period on the contract? In other words, if, hopefully this doesn't happen.
I thought it was 30 days.
Is it 30 days
For
cancellation of the waste zero contract?
I need to look at it.
What are we committing to, I guess is what I want
We
to
have
know.
cancellation with Shaw's,
Um,
if they don't.
Yeah,
So
so
I-
Shaw's, it was 15 or 30, I forget what it was.
14 days.
14 days. I'm sorry, I was thinking of Shaw's, not waste zero, with 14 days. That's right.
Yeah.
I don't,
But is there a commitment there that we need to be concerned about? That's all.
I need to take a look at it a little bit further, but,
Well, can we have an update then for the 19th, our next meeting? Well, if there's anything, any movement in the meantime, you can update the board.
will do, yeah. I also need to ping, the Board of Health. That
Yeah.
They kind of need to make a decision, on both contracts, how they want to proceed. Because it's kind of, with them at the moment.
Exactly, and I would think they would be asking for a joint meeting if they were all set, expecting a contract to be signed.
Right.
If you're pinging them, I would also like to see numbers for the year. And they say they have a 3-year plan, but I would actually like to see actual numbers.
The plan numbers,
I would like to see revenue and expenses, anticipated revenue and expenses.
and maybe just an update on the current.
Yeah,
they're over 1,000.
I think it's approaching 1,100. I saw someone with a sticker and it said 1085, so
oh, good.
we're approaching 1,100,
Okay.
which is great. But I think 1,800 was kind of like the number everyone was shooting for. So that's, you know, but then again, you know, there could be a lot of people who have paid for but haven't picked it up yet. But 1,100 is promising, but it's still 700 households from the goal.
I talked to Carla yesterday, and, I don't know how this happened, I'm not sure, because I don't know the numbers, but she said that break even is gonna be 1,200. They need 1,200 to break even. I don't know.
I want to see the numbers.
Okay,
Maybe that's true. I want to see the numbers.
we should have an update.
Okay.
A financial update. Okay, we good on 415?
I think so.
Okay. 416, review approved bingo permit for TEO for event on 10/25 at 491 Main Street, Townsend. Is there a motion?
I move that we approve the bingo permit for a TO event on 10/25/2025 at 491 Main Street, Townsend.
Is there a second?
Second.
Remember, this was brought up last meeting, but it was not on the agenda. So, well, we amended on the other thing, but so there was no reason to do this as a chair's privilege. Any other discussion?
I don't think so.
Hearing none, roll call.
Veronica Cal, I.
Goodrich, aye.
Laura Schiffern, aye. And we all signed this one?
Yeah.
Do you want me to, date it, Sabrina? Today being the
Fifth.
5th?
Is that, wait, where did you date
I
it?
don't get this. This is being hand.
No, that's not it. Those are the hours of,
Operation?
yeah. So
So it would
I
be
think-
here, the date.
It's down at the bottom,
Did you sign it?
I did. sign it.
below this line for
So it's
municipal
probably-
authorities.
It would be 10:25 up there, yeah.
Oh,
Well,
sorry
she-
about that.
She signed it. Can you print off another copy?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
Should have put my glasses on. Okay, and, did I do the roll call? Oh, yes, I did because I signed
We
it.
did, yeah.
Okay. All right. So that is 16. And now work session. Nelson, you're on 5.1.
So I spoke to Adam about the OML and the various trainings that him and his office can provide. I kind of have landed on Thursday, September 4th.
I'll let you do first.
Is there any sort of issues with having it then?
I'm good. Is he offering during, and it's gonna be like an hour, so is he offering during the day and at night? Are we gonna do them both on the same day?
Same day, yeah, 2 sessions.
Okay.
An hour actually is not probably too short. We're probably looking at an hour and a half,
Yeah,
you know, maybe.
plus if
Closer.
people have questions.
Yeah, closer to 2 hours.
I would
each.
just say to get that to the board members as soon as possible. The employees are here, but board members have
Yes.
Yeah, well,
variable
And they
schedules.
can come to either session.
yeah, after tonight, I will start, circulating this information. Adam also did request, since it's early September and he typically has office hours, the last Tuesday of the month, that, his August office hours be blended in on the same day as this. That way he's here,
That's fine.
he's here for a long day, but at least he gets it. So
Not
every-
fine with me, because I won't be in town that day.
Oh, oh,
So
we need the training though.
if I need him, I will use him.
Okay, yeah, just reach
So I
out to him.
typically meet with him during office hours.
Right.
We have an RFP that we're working on for TAHT, and
I saw that from Karen.
right, so, anyway. And we meet next week. So,
When do you need him?
we may need time with him then.
Which day?
It's better for to do it on his office hours, but maybe Kieran and Dave can do it without me.
Mhm.
So let's go with it.
Okay,
Okay.
and you'll look into what you need then? Okay.
Nelson, does it make sense to set the board hours, maybe, 7:00? I'm thinking people get home, I don't know. Is that too late? You can set it up, but just,
It would probably either be 6 or 7, I think.
Well, if he's gonna do his hours that day, he'll probably do it at 7, because his
Mhm.
hours are 4 to 7 to meet people.
Right.
So then he'll do that one at 7, and the other one he may do at 2:30?
One, I would do it so that it's at the end of the day for staff.
Probably 2 to 4.
something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And then from 4 to 7, he has his office hours, and
Yeah.
then 7 to 9,
Nine.
he has the second session. It's a long day for him, but he kind of gets everything out of the way in one day.
I'm good with that. I'm gonna try to do the whole day. I'm gonna try to do both.
Okay.
Sit down and go. I mean, you always hear something different, you know? You can see the same presentation, but you're gonna pick up something different, and I'm hoping that everybody else does as well. That's pretty good.
Can you repeat the first
Veronica?
session? When was that?
Huh?
The first session?
2 to 4.
2 to 4, 7 to 9, on September 4th, everyone who is listening will be the training for municipal employees and elected and appointed officials. We hope to have all of you participate in that.
I think that's something our new group should make sure all board members are aware.
Yes, that's something to put
The
in
new
there.
group will do that.
Whatever it's called.
Mhm.
What's it called again?
VBCC.
BBCC?
VBCC.
The Volunteer Board and Committee.
Coordination Committee.
Volunteer Board. So sorry to everybody.
I liked it.
Okay.
Okay.
what else?
You're on your report, yes.
Let's see, September 9th, so you guys have met, Michelle Zelenka, you know, she's
Mhm.
the regional energy manager.
Yeah.
We were gonna have that, climate action public forum late July. Didn't really get a lot of, responses for, you know, attending. So we're gonna kind of pivot, wait until, the summer's over, but also, start them here at Town Hall and then seeing what we learn and maybe expanding from there. So we were thinking more like a focus group type of setting. So we are proposing, 2 focus groups on September 9th, which is a Tuesday. The first one would be, just town staff, you know, ideas on climate action, you know, ideas, initiatives, things like that. So that's one session, and then that's during the day. Tuesday are the late days for most staff, so we were thinking maybe like, you know, 4 to 6 or 3 to 5, maybe. Maybe, actually, it's only gonna be about an hour, so maybe like 3 to 4 or 4 to 5. And then the evening session would be for, any boards or committees that wants to be part of that conversation. So I think, certain committees, it's kind of a natural fit for them. The energy committee, maybe conservation, planning, what else? What else am I not thinking of? Maybe the recycling committee, potentially. So we're opening
Well, you
up.
can invite them all.
Yeah, we are. We're gonna invite them all. Some are just more natural in terms
Yeah.
of, the conversation about climate action and, you know, how to get a plan, you know, in place.
And see what you get for registrants.
Yeah, so I think between those 2 focus groups, we'll have enough data and maybe feedback of how we can then push it out to the wider community. You know, maybe there's some suggestions on how to promote it better, you know, maybe those boards or committees knows, you know, a subset of the population that, you know, we can target, you know, advertising this to. So
Okay.
that's kind of what we're pivoting towards since the public forum in July, you know, didn't happen.
Okay.
So that will be on September 9th. So I'll start pushing that out to the employees as well as the various boards and committees as well, if there are no objections to that
Any
day.
other thoughts from the board? No? Next?
2 other things. We talked about the special town meeting September 25th. I will see if the high school is available for the auditorium. I believe I blind CC'd you guys on the chapter 90.
So I was just gonna ask about the two
Yep.
funding things.
Yep. So I am happy to report that, our chapter 90 funding, for this fiscal year is, above and beyond what we were expecting. So, we are now expecting, $887,000 in chapter 90.
Almost double.
Yep.
Nelson, can you just, for people listening, tell them what the chapter 90 funding is for and what it's not for?
Yeah, so the chapter 90.
There's some confusion, I think, about that.
That's a big one. Chapter 90 funding comes from the state, and there's a whole formula of how much each city or county would get. That's kind of a formula that we can't really change. So what those funds are designed for typically is for paving of any kind. So it could be you're paving a complete neighborhood. You could be doing pothole repairs. Even paving, there's many ways of doing it. You could just be you could be tearing it up completely and laying new stuff down. Even what you lay down has different thicknesses and different methods of doing it, but nonetheless, it's all within the paving umbrella, if you want to call it that.
And
striping, that's part of it too. So the double line, double yellow, single yellow, white
Now, is
line.
that contracted out or,
We bid it out.
oh, you bid it out?
Yeah.
and so there's been some questions, like, that is not for highway department staffing, it is for,
Right.
I just want you to
It's not.
clarify that, because there's been some questions on the increased chapter 90
Yeah, they're
funding
gonna
and what
use
it
the
could
money
be
for something
used.
else.
No,
What it could be used for.
so, highway staffing we do have highway staffing that fills, does patching.
Potholes.
Yeah, so the materials, is paid for by chapter 90, but their time is not. Yep, otherwise we contract it out, and then at that point, it is for, the third party's labor and materials. But, no, it is not for, labor within
Who does the RFPs for that? Is
the
that
highway,
a separate?
the highway
Oh,
superintendent.
he does.
Yep,
Thank you for the clarification.
of course. And, we recently, I think it was last meeting, we decided to pave Apple Drive.
Right.
So, with this extra money, I think we're all set for this fall. But coming the spring, with this extra money, we might be able to add another neighborhood or two, to the mix. So, but I just want to caution that increases like this, it doesn't happen that often.
Right.
It's, the cadence is usually once every few years, you see a bump in it. It really depends on the governor and the state legislature, how, what kind of pressure they're getting from the local cities and towns. But any increase is welcome, but it's typically not, you're not going to see sustained increases like this year
Right.
over year.
And it's specific.
Yeah. So I'm excited that we got a little bit more money. We'll certainly put it to use. But honestly, it's never enough. I hate to say it, but every road that we are paving, there's another 30 that are undone.
Yeah.
It's just the nature of things, and
I think it's always been like that, the whole time I lived here.
and the increases year over year, it's only, a couple percentage points, while, materials
Cost.
are going up more than that.
Right.
So what that means is you're able to do less
Right.
every year. And,
That's with everything.
and unfortunately, the only way to actually catch up is devoting more money into it, which means either increasing the tax levy or, doing something, you're doing less of something else to be able to pay for, which typically is not how.
You need a larger tax base.
Right. Yeah, and that's a bigger conversation
Yeah.
for another day.
Did you also want to address the other funding that we got information on?
Oh, yes, the Neshoba. Yeah. Yeah, we did get word that, with the Neshoba closing, I think 13 communities got together, and, almost formed like a coalition and, sort of lobbied their,
It was all the fire chiefs.
what's that?
It was all the fire chiefs.
Correct, yeah, in the 13 communities, lobbying for, additional funding because with Neshoba closing, the travel times for, the various EMS departments significantly increased, which means, you're taking less calls, travel times longer, that increases, labor expenses, so,
And less gets done.
yep. So, the governor listened, and I think, the 13 communities are getting, at the moment, it's 350,000 each for the next 2 years.
That's not 350 each year, right?
No, it's
divided
not.
over.
No,
It's total,
Total.
total 2 years.
So that'd be one.
Has the governor signed it?
I believe
Because-
it's pretty much I don't know if she's
I
signed it,
haven't seen where it's been signed. I saw where it was voted.
I think it's on her desk, and I see no reason why she would, not sign it. I think the question becomes is.
Because we got a notice from Senator Cronin about it.
And Margaret
Mark,
Scarsdale.
Correct.
So
It's
it was
pretty much
voted
done.
last Thursday, but the governor has to sign.
I think the bigger question is, what can we use that money for? That is unknown at the moment. I don't know if there's, stipulations attached to it. We haven't seen the fine print yet. So we're still trying to figure that out. And depending on what those, limitations might be, it may help with the budget, or it may just mean, the fire department is gonna be able to upfit, their vehicles and equipment. Because usually some of these grants are, equipment based. You can only spend it on, capital equipment.
But you'll let us know as soon as,
Yep. And, I'm sure the fire chief is, he has a pulse on it, so as soon as they find out, they'll relay that message to us and we can start planning accordingly.
But it's not, the survey knows it's not the 350 for each year.
No.
It's divided over the 2 years.
And the funds have to be applied for, and it may not be evenly.
There's a
Um,
process of getting the funds. I saw that terminology somewhere, but there's a process. Just doesn't, they don't send you a check.
Yeah, correct. Yep, and so we don't know what that looks like at the moment. So once we know more, we can start planning, things out.
Okay. Anything else?
So I had.
Any questions for the TA?
No, I'm pretty sure that is managed through the fire department though.
I believe so, yes, correct.
So,
Thanks for the clarification. I know there's a lot of people asking questions about it, so.
Mhm.
General government.
Oh, that's me.
I have to think about it. Do we have it updated? The liaison list?
No.
I have a recent one.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
It's,
That's me.
it needs to be updated from the votes that we took for, the MJTC and whatever, it was still
Okay.
under me. And, I'm not there anymore. You are it.
Let me see, I have it
It's
here.
the second page in the back.
Yeah. Let
on
me
the
make sure I
assignments.
have those all been sent to MRPC or MJTC or okay. So if we are the assigned person, we should be receiving the agendas.
Yeah.
Because I'm not receiving much of anything from anybody right now. March is where I am.
You're in March?
Yeah.
I think
They might not be meeting for the summer. Sometimes
That
that
could be.
happens.
A lot of them aren't meeting in August, I know that. But
But
I've gotten notices.
I know I'm the March person. I haven't gotten much at all about meetings.
I don't think I've got MPCC.
I used to, I was.
Yeah.
But come July 1st, and I'm thinking, I don't have anything that I'm flagging on my calendar. Did you
don't
get
think they have-
something?
No, but I wanted to add something to that. There was a piece of paper I vaguely remember. It's actually still in my office. It had your name on it, and it was like assigning you to Mark, I believe.
Yes, I'm assigned to March.
But I think there was a section that had to be signed, and
We have to sign one, that was sent to.
oh, that was sent to them. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I didn't.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so maybe they haven't,
They'll have
you know,
something before
done.
September.
Yeah, see, I
I
haven't gotten
expect.
the last MJTC thing I got was for a meeting on May 14th.
Yeah, so it's
But
kinda
maybe
like-
it's just
it's
the
a summer thing. So, okay, so I'm not crazy that I
I think
haven't
they,
seen
I
anything.
really do think they took off for August.
I know that they always took off at least 1 month in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
summer, and it sometimes varied, depending.
So general government?
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of specific things. There was the conservation thing from Colby. This visual budget, I will ask for more report from the different groups for next month. I mean, it would be good if it was just with the, staff meetings, kind of refer to that, would be nice.
Mhm.
In this section here,
Mhm.
wouldn't be bad. And then, I also have the school, which I believe their next meeting is next week. I'll have to double check on it. They haven't had a school committee meeting in a while, so that'll be next week.
Oh, speaking of schools, the Brad Morgan's office, was looking at dates for, I forget what the term they call it was. It's basically like a budget meetings with the various towns. What do they call it?
Who was on that email? Is it just the TAs
It
or?
was just the TAs, but, what I was planning on, because this literally just, happened today. It's pretty typical for at least one select board member and possibly a finance committee member. I haven't seen a finance committee member from Ashby at Preple last year, but it was always at least one select board member.
I mean, I can, as long as I'm available, I can go, because I'm your select board person.
Depending when it is, I would be interested in going as well.
They scheduled them out through like January, because they took a poll of who was available when, and then as of today, they started sending out invites. And the first one isn't until early September, mid-September.
I don't need to go to every single one of them, but I want to go to there's usually one in September that's worth going to, one around November timeframe, and then the one that they have with everybody more in the January, February timeframe.
So the first one is September 15th. We were trying to have one in August, but none of the dates worked. So the very first one is September 15th. It's a Monday. And then there's one late October.
When's the 15th one?
It's a
Okay,
Monday.
It's a Monday at 10 a.m.
I can go to that one.
I'm leaving it to you guys.
So
I don't need to be up
I
for
can
it.
also listen
Thank
after
you.
the
Thank you,
fact.
James.
Yeah, so I know what's going
I
on.
might as well tell you the date now, that way you can have it on your calendar. So there's one on September 15th.
Where are they? Are they all?
They're at the high school.
Okay.
The next one is October 27th. And then November.
10 a.m. also?
Yeah, they're all 10 a.m. November 17th. December 15th.
November 17th. December
15th. And January 21st. And that's all we have scheduled.
January 21st is
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay, so they're all Monday except for that one.
Yep.
st 15th of December, 17th of November, and 15th of September. None in October?
October 27th.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's there. Okay, awesome.
So yeah, that, we were literally, getting the invite today. And, I think I mentioned it in an email, last year, all three TAs sent a letter to the Brad Morgan. We're gonna send out a similar letter as well. I will circulate it for you guys' feedback and comments. There will probably, excuse me, be a rough draft ready, later this week. We're working on it as we speak. It's kind of the same, general idea, you know, the town really, all three towns can't afford more than, 2.5%, 3% above,
I would say 2.5.
but they've been coming in at 5, 6, 7%.
I know, but we can't afford that.
No, and, the letter helps, it certainly,
It didn't help this year.
well, at least it puts on paper that, we've, as a town, or the three towns as a collaborative, are united in sort of, what our request is. Yeah. Yeah,
Nobody's fault, just the situation.
I know.
yeah. But nonetheless, I think, drafting a letter, at least lets them know that we are united and serious about, our financial constraints.
Well, please don't go above 2.5.
To the schools?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'll circulate the letter, when it's ready, later this week.
Okay, elected boards, that's me. Were you done? I don't have any reports other than what we already discussed tonight between the Board of Health and another thing was water. And the last meeting that I was with them, they just did some transfer, or they closed 3 accounts. Why do I think I've already reported that? But I don't have anything else. Public safety?
The only thing I have is, I think there's a general request, and this probably goes beyond public safety, to have a memorandum with exactly what needs to be cut by what department, or what, board, not board, union, so we'll have that hopefully at the end of the evening.
Oh, okay. Announcements, communication, and volunteer response forms. We received this, and I think it was nice, and would you like to read it?
This is from William May, 201 Page Hill Road.
Who's a former police chief?
New Ipswich, New Hampshire, July 4th. It's directed to Police Chief James Sartell, Townsend Police Department. And it says, Dear Chief Sartell, I drove by the police station last night on the way to the band concert and must tell you the police station looks better than the day it was built 35 years ago. The darker shade of gray of the building, the new sign colors out front, coupled with the 4th of July bird bunting is quite impressive. You and those who work closely with you with respect to building maintenance are to be commended on doing such excellent work. Nice job. All the best, Bill, William May.
Very nice. Thank you. It's nice that you come to the band concerts. So we know that. And again, as always, we still have a lot of positions available. I would, under this, I would like to announce that it came to my attention today that the posting for the Properties Committee that's on the board is for 3 positions, but there's only 2 positions available, and one already has a volunteer form in. So there's 1 position still available for at-large member for the Town Properties Committee. Also, I know, I don't think we have one yet, but I know that the Historical District Commission is looking for an architect, somebody with an architectural background, to also fill a seat per the charter on that board. And there are many others, I'm sure. So we would welcome people who are interested in serving. Our next meeting is August 19th, 2025 at 6 p.m. And 5.5, I'll entertain a motion.
I move that we review and sign payroll and bills payable warrants out of session.
Second,
Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Veronica Kelly, yes.
Yes.
And Laura Schiffern, yes. 6, executive session, votes may be taken. 6.1. Executive session pursuant to open meeting law, chapter 30, section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the public body and the chair so declares. Clerical union, supervisors union, highway, water union, police union, fire union. 6.2, executive session pursuant to open meeting law, chapter 30, section 21A2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel. Treasurer collector. I will entertain a motion that we close our general meeting and go into executive.
No, we don't
No,
adjourn. We're gonna adjourn from executive
Adjourn.
session. Correct?
Yeah, so I need a motion that we're entering into executive session.
Don't we have to do a motion for the executive sessions, which is what you just did? And we seconded that.
Okay,
And so we can just amend it to adjourn from executive session.
okay. I'll take that as a friendly amendment.
Yeah, you enter it into and then you adjourn from, and,
I'll entertain a friendly amendment to adjourn from executive session.
So moved. Second,
Okay, roll call.
Veronica Kell, yes.
Yes.
And Laura Schiffern, yes. We are going into executive session at 8:53 p.m.